Greetings, valued poll listeners, and welcome to episode 121 of the Poll List Podcast, your monthly poll of comics, pop culture, and faith. I am the next gen nerd, CJ, and I'm joined here by my buddy Hector. And I did it right when he was taking a sip. It was the
No, it's all
perfect
good. It's all
timing.
good. Hi, that is perfect timing.
Today, we're going to be looking at some comics that we've enjoyed. We're going to be talking about some comics in the news. And because this is right around Valentine's Day, we're going to do a bracket between the two of us to figure out what is the most iconic comics couple. And so we're going to do that in a little while. And it probably won't make sense. Every time I do one of these on my show, I always am surprised by who ends up coming out on top. So I'm excited to see kind of what happens. Hector, man, what's going on with you this week, bud? You doing all right?
Um, yeah, sort of. It's a weird week. I'm coming back off of us being snowed in for
Okay.
like 4 days last week and the world trying to catch up and uh I've got my first event for the year for Faith and Fandom. I've got a giant youth conference and I've only done one youth conference and it's so different than Comic Cons. I don't know what to do.
Okay.
Like it's hard to be prepared because I know what to be prepared for with cons, but like I'm
Mm.
going into year two of this and yep, been pretty good. Pretty good.
Is this the superhero camp you put on?
No, no, this is I'm gonna mess up it's the CCYC, it's the Christian uh Carolina Christian Youth Conference.
Okay.
It's gonna be like 2,000 kids, um and speakers and worship and all that jazz, but they've got like a game room with like giant inflatables, and then they've got vendors, which are usually like Bible camps and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um, and I'd never done one of these before because, like, it kind of felt it might sound weird, but it felt dumb to take Faith and Fandom to a Christian event. Um, like it's like
Well, I get that though. Like your goal and your audience is the uninitiated, right? Trying to bridge that gap. And so preaching to the choir a little bit, maybe that may have been I get that. I understand
but
your
I told that to somebody at this conference last year, and they said, "Hey, listen, you've done youth ministry, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Was every kid in your youth group saved?" And I'm like, "No." He's like, "All right, then keep coming."
there you go. There you go. That
Um,
works.
but so kind of just been prepping for that, trying to get back into the Muggle world. And my oldest daughter's 18th birthday is this week, so it's a lot.
You're so old.
I am, bro. I my kid turns 18, and I'm just kind of dealing with that. So
Oh, I'm sorry, man. I laugh because I understand your pain. My daughter has her first like real boyfriend, and they're at like that, 4 months. And my mother-in-law likes to point out, like, "Oh, weren't you about that age when you started dating Carrie?" I was like, "I don't want to think about this right now. Like, that's not where I want to go." Well, I feel for you, man. Sorry, sorry you're so old, but that's exciting anyways.
how about
Being a
you? How
good
things
dad.
been?
Yeah, things been good. We have not been snowed in, but in Florida, the equivalent of that is when the heater stops working and the classrooms get down into the 60s, and so then you have to like cancel school while they fix the heater.
Were you in the
Um,
part of Florida that had iguanas falling out of trees?
no, that's a little further south for me, but we did have snow flurries, which the last time I remember snow flurries where I'm at, I was like 5. So, no iguanas and trees. That's further south. But yeah, so we had. It was a long week. It was the longest week of February last week between our heater not working and all kinds of stuff. Not at my house, at school. But otherwise, it's been a good week. With it being colder temperatures, and for us, cold is like 30s. That's really cold for us. Um, just sitting inside, having a fire, and watching movies. And so like it's been a lot of fun doing that, spending time with the kids and watching movies. Yeah, that's what we did. I actually had a whole bracket of movies because I like brackets for my kids to pick what we were going to watch, and like I painstakingly went through it, and I should have just picked the one I knew they were going to pick anyways. Ninja Turtles: Secret of the Ooze. Like they're like, why did you show us anything
So
else?
good.
We're definitely going to watch that. Like put that one back in
I
again.
love that movie.
Uh, so we watched that for the like thousandth time. It's perfect. So
I
yeah, been
had
doing good,
I had
man.
Ninja Rap on the cassette single from Pizza Hut.
Yes. Yeah, both those movies. I mean, really, those two are my favorite Ninja Turtle movies. The first one with Casey Jones, 1990. I mean, I know that one by heart, like every line. Love that movie.
The
Um,
the farmhouse is 30 miles from me.
really, Well, when you invite me over for Thanksgiving, we'll have to go check it out. We'll do
Yeah.
that. We'll go and see. So it'll be good.
Better put the word out. Get ready for the nerd out. Better put specs on. Better bring next on. I cut handsome checks for my expansion sets. They call me Obi-Wan. Act like you know me, son.
So we've got several things we're going to talk about. Do you want to do comics first or you want to do news first?
Let's do news first.
News first. So why don't you share one of the ones you had a couple of really interesting things that you were looking at? Why don't you share one of those?
One of the news is I haven't seen Marvel do a lot of their red band or mature stuff lately, and the stuff they have done hasn't been amazing.
Has it been red bandy enough?
It's been weird. But
Yeah.
Jessica Jones is coming back in her own book called Alias, and it releases on March 11th. But it's saying for explicit content, and coming from Jessica Jones, that makes me slightly nervous.
Yeah,
because she's pretty explicit as a character. But it's got in typical Jessica fashion, her with a bottle of alcohol in a chair looking disgruntled. But I've enjoyed. I don't know that I've had a Jessica Jones series I didn't enjoy.
Okay.
I don't know that I love Kristen Ritter as much as Jessica Jones. I don't not like her. But there's something about the gritty noir detective writing you get with Jessica Jones that is just pretty solid to me. So yeah.
Nice. Christian Ritter is the only Jessica Jones I know. Never read any Jessica Jones comics. That's all I've seen. So the thought of a red band gritty version of that seems like a lot.
She had a run, let's say 2-3 years ago. I want to say Gail Simone wrote.
Okay.
And I love Gail Simone.
Yeah.
But it was like multiverse versions of her kept showing up. And like one of them is like warm, fuzzy, and passionately in love with Daredevil. And so that one walked in the room and just automatically started kissing Matt Murdock, and it was a whole weird scenario. And there's one of her with pink hair and like blue 70s disco pants. So,
okay.
Which is an actual Marvel canon character. Like all of these versions of her existed somewhere.
Nice.
But yeah.
Go ahead and share your other one because mine kind of dovetails in with that the other one as well.
There is going to be Marvel's Armageddon series is going to be their next big hoorah. That's coming up in May. And it's going to be hitting off with Captain America number 11 and Wolverine Weapons of Armageddon number 4. But it's going to be like Captain America abandoning his post to protect Doom's biggest weapon. This could be one thing. And then Wolverine is going to be heading back into the territory of the super soldier form serum. So there's more super soldier shenanigans afoot coming up with that.
Nice. The article that I wanted to talk about was Jim Lee made some. Man, that got really dark. Let me turn some light on. Hang on one sec. I think my light was dying.
I thought you were just
charging
in a mood, but okay.
Yeah, that's it. Listen, and I had a white screen up over here, so whatever. So Jim Lee made some comments on manga and comics, and so I thought there was some really interesting.
You got to say it with the open manga.
Sorry. And so I thought there's some really interesting points in here. So he was talking about the difference between the two, and it was saying how comics have kind of gotten themselves into a place where it's only superheroes, and where manga has all kinds of stories. So anyone can jump in and be interested, even if superheroes like isn't their bag, right? They just don't like superheroes. I was like, okay, I can come along with that. But what I thought was really interesting was it was talking about the self-contained nature of manga stories and how you don't have to go to 13 different sources when they have like a big event, like that doesn't happen. And I immediately thought of the numerous times that I've been collecting comics and then I read and there's some big story and I needed to get 14 other comics in order to understand what's happening in this crossover tie-in. And so he was mentioning that, and he was talking about how he's really excited how DC has started to put out some of their classics in that smaller trade paperback form. Um, and so I thought it was really neat listening to kind of his thoughts on that. He talks about James Gunn's role with DC and things that he's interested with that. And anyways, overall, I thought it was a really good article talking about, one of the biggest names in DC, talking about this is what he sees as good things with comics and where they need to grow. So I thought it was pretty good.
On that same note, because I was thinking about that article separately. Um, one big thing that because he was, Jim was saying that manga's gotten a lot right that comics necessarily hasn't. Um, with manga, the story is continuous. You you don't have to go back and worry about arcs restarting. You get number one and you just keep going. Um, you don't have to worry about book restarts, and the simple fact that uh that I'm going to say his name wrong, but the guy who makes One Piece put out weekly content for 25 years without stopping, and it was continual. Um, but the other thing that manga has going for it that is DC does well, Marvel is terrible at it. Um, but DC does it well for as bad as they do it. The thing that makes manga so successful is the anime adaptations.
Mm.
Because let's say you get 50 volumes into One Piece manga and a kid starts reading the comics or starts watching the anime, they're going to start at number one and pick up, or they're going to pick up the manga where the anime is ended.
Right. Right.
If DC or Marvel put out an animated version of their best stories as they were ongoing, like a 2-year drop later, you'd have a lot more readers reading it. But the problem is we are the industry of cool where we shuffle out hot new writers who want to do everything over instead of giving a continual story. So there's
Right.
not a solid jumping on point. There's so many people that jumped on the live action One Piece because it was only 8 episodes.
Yep. Yep.
And then they went to the anime and then eventually went to the manga because that was literally me. I started with the anime, but it was around the same time as the live action. But I ended up started buying the last couple manga just so I could get ahead of where the anime is.
Mm.
With My Hero Academia, I did that because I watched the anime, then I bought all the manga.
Mm.
And if DC actually told a continual story that lasted more than 2 years, they'd
2
be
years is
great.
generous. Yeah.
Because Tom King's story lasted almost 4 years.
And it was fantastic.
But like it's not a hit movie story.
Right.
Like it's not just the 12 issues that you could do it. You would have to make it episodes of TV or episodic TV.
Mm.
And because Tom King's Batman run is not something that you would just watch as a movie.
Mm.
It would have filler episodes and it would have stuff that's slower and less dramatic, but we don't have the patience for that in America.
Right.
So
Mm. We'll have to circle back after the show. I've got some other stuff I've watched that is not comics related that I was like, this is why this is done in America. But that's good stuff. Good stuff. Very cool. Well, let's shift the gears a little bit. Let's talk about some comics. We have shortened the number of comics that we're going to talk about because we have this bracket we're going to do in just a minute. And so I've got two and then a spiritual content one. And so I'll share my first one is a number one I picked up the other day because I was just looking for a number one, and that's Iron Man number one. Starting over. I have not read I've got several Avengers comics over the years and seen that, but I read a standalone Iron Man issue. I remember having an Iron Man book when I was in high school and reading it and enjoying it. But I really enjoyed this, really liked it. And it ends on a nice little cliffhanger where the Avengers are going to have to take out Iron Man. So it hooked me, and I'm like, yes, more of this. I will definitely add that to my poll. I had to call my shop and say, add it to the list. So, you got a chance to read this one yet?
no, and I'm not an Iron Man fan.
Yeah.
One of my most negative faith and fandom reviews on Amazon is in book one because I mentioned I don't like Iron Man at the beginning of my Iron Man chapter. And
Perfect.
there's a young lady who is an advocate of another Christian book series who just threw me under the bus for how dare I write a devotional about Iron Man if I don't like Iron Man.
Did you
Um,
mention this review on the on your master class you did on stage presence?
I think I did.
I'm
I
like, I
think
feel
I
like I've heard this story recently. Yeah, that's
yeah,
what it
yeah.
was.
Um, it's like yeah, I'm not being ruled by the negative, but yeah, she's my most negative review, and I've been living with that review for 12 years. Uh,
Obviously, it still
Obviously,
stings. Yeah.
yeah, I write it down on post-it notes while I'm at work. Um,
You print
but
out copies and use it as litter paper under the in a litter box, those kind of things. Yes, all those
but
things.
in older comics iterations, Iron Man was just an alcoholic and dealt with a
Mm,
lot of dark issues. And I came from a background of alcoholism in my household and abuse.
yeah.
And so I didn't look at Iron Man as like, oh, fun drunk uncle. I looked at Iron Man like, you're an abuser and I don't like you. Um, and it took me a lot of MCUing to get
Yeah, yeah,
past
yeah.
that as a character because I know they
Yeah.
played him much more charming in the MCU.
So
But
this one leans heavy into that. So like in here, uh, much much more responsible at this point. And like the most indulgent thing he does is he has this party and it's for the Tony Stark Awards, and he goes, "Wait, Tony Stark doesn't get the award at the Tony Stark Awards?" And they're like, "No, you made these awards to give to other promising inventors." And he's like, "Oh, okay." And then while they're eating afterwards, he wants a cheeseburger instead of the caviar that was being served. And so they make him a cheeseburger. So like it's those kind of self-indulgent things, but it's actually a very responsible picture of Iron Man wanting to take care of things. It feels much more like the MCU Iron Man, which is a popular character. And so so there was that piece I thought was really good. Um and he's kind of it's very similar. It reminded me of the new Absolute Superman issues where he's constantly having to go and fix stuff, and that's what it felt like here. Like he's even though he's at these awards, like he's like listening for things that he needs to fix. And so like I said, I enjoyed it. If you are not sure if you want to pick it up or not, the Madame Mask is the villain in here, and basically she finds all these people that Tony Stark thought were promising inventors because she's trying to recreate Tony Stark to have a evil version of him, like inventing things. And so she goes and collects all these people that were possibly going to win the Tony Stark Award to put them in the same scenario in a cave in the desert, fighting for their lives to see what they can come up with. And I guess that was a nightmare that Tony Stark had, and he had shared it with several people. And so he calls up Steve, calls up Captain America and says, "Hey, I need your help to like fix this. I need your help to undo what I think is going to happen." And Steve says, "Okay, I'll meet you. We'll talk about it." And then the last panel is him talking to everybody, Captain Marvel, Fantastic Four, and he says, "How do we take down Tony Stark?" And so again, it caught my interest.
Was Ironheart a big player in this one?
Nope, not at all. Nowhere.
I heard somebody was criticizing that issue online that said it wasn't an Iron Man book; it was an Ironheart book.
Not this one. It might have been a different.
No, it was that one, and I'm
No,
like, okay, but
unless I'm just way too uninitiated, and she's all throughout here. But no, I mean it is all Iron Man. I mean, so Iron Man's fighting.
I didn't trust the source I saw posted. That's why I was just curious.
Yeah, no, he's fighting. Iron Man fights Blizzard. Iron Man goes to the Tony Stark Awards. Iron Man fights Madame Mask. Iron Man go. I mean, like no. Uh,
Okay,
Only set of armor. Well, there's two sets of armor. There's one at the very beginning because they had tried to recreate the same scenario with another inventor, and he doesn't make the armor good enough to withstand Aim's attacks, and so it's destroyed. And they're like, and he goes, "I can build a better set of armor," and she says, "I don't want a better set of armor. I want a better Tony Stark, and you're not him." And so she kills him. Um, so, but no Ironheart that I'm aware of. At least not in armor. Who is Ironheart? Like the name of the character.
she's a young lady.
No, I know. Like I know Ironheart. I know it from the MCU movies, but like, what is the name of her character?
I can't remember. I just
Yeah.
watched the
So
series too. So
there is a lady in here that I don't know who she is. It's trying to keep Iron Man on track, but at no point is she in armor. So if that was her, she played a very tiny role. Like she wasn't.
okay,
Anyways, I picked it up. I enjoyed it. I called and had to put it on my pulls. That along with two Daredevil #1 blind bags, please. Can you put those in my box? But that's not one of my ones. So, what's one of yours that you read this week
Is
or the
that
last
a
2 weeks?
his Dark Materials, Lin-Manuel Miranda directly behind you on your shelf?
No. Which side?
You're right.
My right over here.
With the
Um,
fedora.
no, dude, check this out.
Is that Hopper?
It's Duke Silver.
It is Duke Silver. Okay. Sorry. I was like fixated.
That's okay.
Uh there's a his Dark Materials, Lin-Manuel Miranda, that's wearing about the same outfit.
I got you. No, that's my that's Duke Silver, and that's I forgot what Princess Sparkles or whatever Andy's character is when he's having the tea party with
I see from here it looks like a Law from Trafalgar Law from One Piece. But now that you say that, I get that. Okay.
yeah. Any others you want me to highlight? Definitely we
No,
can do
no,
that.
that's cool.
Yeah. All
I,
right,
I,
give me one of yours.
I'll set up with my shelf behind me one day. Um, where I get a cool shelf. Um, the honestly the best book I've read in the last since the last time we recorded, that I enjoyed is a one shot, uh, Superman Chains of Love special.
Okay.
Um, and just the concept of this is buck wild. Did you see this?
No, man, tell me all about it.
This is a one shot issue about Livewire and the Creeper. You familiar with either of those characters?
Livewire, yes. Creeper, not as much.
Creeper is a Gotham journalist named, or Metropolis journalist, Gotham, depending on where he's at, named Jack Ryder. And then he can turn into a green-esque goblin,
Yeah.
somewhere. Did you ever see Freakazoid?
Yeah.
He's Freakazoid with green hair.
Nice.
Um, and he also has, but he's got like Craven the Hunter, wild shaggy mane, stuff like that. But either way, he's a Gotham vigilante for the most part. She's a super villain, and the whole issue is that uh they meet up randomly after she gets out of prison. She used to be a radio host. He's a radio host, but now he's a live streamer. He does a radio show podcast as Jack Ryder, and then he streams on Twitch as the Creeper. Like, but he runs into her and instantly falls for her, and so they make a podcast together where they highlight villain issues.
Okay.
And it's this whole crazy wacky romantic situation where she hates his alter ego and all these things, but it's funny, it's witty. This is what a Deadpool comic book should be.
Mm.
And so like all the humor that gets overly played in a Deadpool comic, this is actually played well. And just a lot of it is really really solid and fun. It's creative. You don't have to have any backstory to anything. And just as a nice little note, we get a shot of Condiment King from originally from Batman the Animated Series. He's one of the guests. Um, Superman, both Jonathan and Clark versions play a role in it. But as
It looks
people,
hefty.
it's hefty, and it's got a backstory at the back on Bizarro, but by itself it's chunky. Um, but normally DC will drop these romance issues and stuff on Valentine's Day. This was good. This was not.
Okay.
Almost every holiday issue I buy, I regret. I did not regret this one, and I thought it was really fun. So
Nice.
it's in current continuity, Livewire is dating Jimmy Olsen. So this is a fun sidetrack.
I got you. I'm finding more and more opportunities to drive the 40 minutes to my comic store to pick things up, and I might be going tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see how. Not tomorrow. Wednesday. Today is Monday. At least in current time, Monday.
In current time.
Very cool. All right, I've been looking for an opportunity to bring a Ghost Machine comic in, and so I did. This is Geiger number 20. Geiger is, if you're not familiar with Geiger, seriously, what are you doing with your life? Geiger, it's right here. Tariq Geiger is the radioactive man, the exploding man, and lives in a post-apocalyptic wasteland. And this one has our first introduction of Geiger to the Northerner. The Northerner is a African American man who is from a world where the South wins in the Civil War because somebody has sent weapons back to the Civil War, modern weapons, to tilt in the favor of the South. And so he is sent back in time to fix it. And yeah, so he's sent back in time to fix it. And so here we see him first. He shows up in a Redcoat issue, which makes sense because Redcoat is immortal and starts 1776. So we see him. So this is him going to the future, which is interesting. And we actually get to learn more about who he is, who sent him, what his abilities are. It's really neat. At some point, like he gets there, and the glowing man does not trust him, and so he pushes a button on his like wristwatch, and a whole cache of supplies shows up, just beamed in right there. And he's like, see, I am from the future. So anyways, I really enjoy Geiger. I've enjoyed picking these up. I'm also really excited to see several of these characters come together. And so the Northerner is the one so far that I know the least about. And I was excited to have another issue with him and Tariq Geiger. Yeah, so there's the art where his cache of weapons just beams in. And yeah, it's been fun. I'm enjoying it. I like all the Ghost Machine stuff. And so Ghost Machine's actually getting ready to release some like dictionary style issues that are kind of heavier coming up soon, where you get to see all the pieces behind the scenes. And so I'm ready. Pick them up, enjoy them, read them. I let somebody borrow. There was one where they did like a preview issue with Ghost Machine. I let somebody borrow it. I need to go and get it back. I know where they are. I know where you are. I'll find you. I need that copy back. So yeah, I like Ghost Machine, and that was a good one. I enjoyed it.
Nice. For me, and I'm sorry that it's DC heavy today. I read a lot of Marvel.
But didn't like a lot of it. Read a lot, didn't like a lot.
I got Rogue #1.
Okay.
Nah. It's fine, but it wasn't good. Enough. I got Psylocke Ninja #1.
Yeah.
Not
No,
bad. Better than
but not in the
Rogue,
top.
maybe. No,
Yeah.
definitely not top. Um, I got Colossus and Magic #1.
That looks
Uh,
interesting.
yeah,
No.
it's good, but no. So the one that is going to make it just for the my other pull for the main one is Wonder Woman 29,
Okay.
and it's getting it because it's the first time Wonder Woman's been good in like 10 issues.
They've been focusing on Absolute Man. They've been focusing there.
So if you're not familiar, for maybe the last prior to this scenario, the last 7 or 8 issues of Wonder Woman was Wonder Woman trying to rescue some people from Mouse Man, who who's somebody who has a power that turns everybody to obey him, and people only say Mouse Man knows in conversation. So it's like 8 books of all the panels saying Mouse Man knows, mice have ears. So it's literally them facing each other saying that for like 7, 8 issues. It's Wonder Woman fighting Godzilla-sized rats, and finally beating up a dude named Mouse Man. And all of it was like allegory for probably something above most of my head. But I love Tom
Uh,
King. But here's the thing, and this is what we were talking. Why I was saying like that Tom King's Batman run couldn't be just a movie, because as I've like previously mentioned a million times, it was like the whole thing where it's a whole issue of just dragging Bruce Wayne's mother through the desert in a coffin, because Tom will go off on some stuff, and Tom unceremoniously is not writing this book right now. Like, because if I did not read his last issue and think, oh, that's the conclusion of his run, um, somebody else just wrote this and it's good. uh, and I love
uh,
Tom King is still my favorite writer. Um, but he beyond some stuff. Uh,
mm,
but if you're not aware, in recent the last year or so, Wonder Woman now has a baby that she formed out of mud and Steve Trevor. Um,
yes. Yes.
so she got this baby, and so this issue is literally she needs a break, And so she needs some peace away from this baby, which is the most parenting thing in the world. So she
Can't
goes
relate at all. Can't relate at all.
so she goes to Themyscira, and all of the Wonder folk come to effectively try and coddle and baby this baby. We have not seen Yara Flor Wonder Woman in forever. Forever. We get Yara Flor versus Donna Troy versus whatever, the blonde Wonder Girl, um and Nubia. Um and they're all just trying to calm Wonder Woman's baby down as she's being fussy.
Mm.
But something is affecting them, which is the same thing that's making them the baby cry. And so they said, well, coddling's not working. So maybe if the baby watches battle, she'll be at peace. And so they just start beating the bejesus out of each other, thinking that's going to work. And it obviously doesn't. And there's some character who's off in the shadows, but like this is the first time Nubia has had screen time in like forever. But Yara Flor was the best thing to come out of that whole future jump DC thing. She's one of the only things that actually stayed as part of the storyline. Um, and like bring her back, and they did, and which is wonderful. But we get some new character um who is targeting her from the shadows. Uh and it says like this the character in the shadow says the mighty Amazons undone not by armies or monsters but by their love for one small child. And I have heard to thank for such a grand entrance. So there's some creepy in need of work dental lady who's purple in the shadows waiting to jump in this. But this was just good writing. It was good to read a Wonder Woman issue that wasn't absolute, but also wasn't confusing. So
Yeah.
there,
Nice.
that's mine.
Nice.
Also, side
You're
shout
good.
out. This isn't a book for books. Just Daniel Warren Johnson, the dude who did Absolute Batman and Do a Power Bomb, did this Kindness is Punk Rock Superman cover for last month's Superman. That's just this
Nice.
variant cover. I liked it.
Love it.
So
Love it. Didn't make my list, but I did enjoy it. I did also get Daredevil versus Punisher one. Was also
I got 1 and 2 of that.
yeah, I did enjoy that one. It will not go on my polls because I'm getting the other Daredevil run, and I only got so much money because I'm a teacher. But yeah.
They're about to start
So,
a new Daredevil run, right?
yes. Yes. And it looks good. That's why I said I put 2 blind bags in my box, please. They got like 20 covers. And so they're putting them in blind bags. So you don't know which cover you're going to get. I was like, one to open and one to keep. All right. Spiritual content. So Justice League Unlimited number 15. We have Neron the Demon. And I went and pulled this one up where it's sad and depressing, and he's stealing everything that's good in the world. Neron the Demon is, but this is Mr. Terrific, and he is getting ready to sell his soul to the devil. Is really kind of what happens there, and I saw Booster Gold on the cover of last month's one, and I love Booster Gold for several reasons. One of which we share a birthday, both December 29th, which makes him easily one of my favorites. We have the same birthday. But as I picked this up and I was reading this, and I thought I had a question for you. Just want to pitch your way. Depictions of Jesus in comics are always, fraught and dangerous, and what's going to happen here. But demons and devils I'm like totally fine with. Like, yeah, I don't care. Put them in there. Let's see this. Why is that? What is the disconnect between a depiction of the devil and a depiction of Jesus in comics? Why is it, Mr. Comic book writer slash Devo developer? Why is that? That it would bother me if Jesus was there. Totally fine with demons and devils.
Because it's easy to fictionalize the concept of demons and devils because they are just archetypes of evil versus Jesus is somebody you claim to have a personal relationship with. Um,
Okay, that's a good one. That's a good point.
um, it's one thing to say there's women versus they do a comic of your wife.
Mm. which I would buy every issue. Every issue.
Brownie points for CJ. But I mean, I think that's the thing is just like when you get to somebody specific of it's the same reason you can thank God at an awards show, but you can't thank Jesus,
Mm,
as Jelly Roll proved recently.
yeah, yeah.
But like it's because even on Supernatural, um, like they didn't have God as a character for the first 9 seasons.
Right.
They'd have angels and demons, but then when they got to God, they if you notice just on Supernatural, they never even mentioned Jesus. Not for real.
Yeah.
They
Right.
talk about God as like because again, God is more vague of a term, but like whenever it's one thing to have the vague outlying spiritual concepts, but then when you actually mention Jesus, you have standards to compare it to.
Mm,
And if you go outside of those lines, you're offending someone's actual deity.
mm, yeah. Excellent point. Thank you, sir. Well done. Well done. Pastor points. Uh, very cool. Did you have anything else you want to share comics wise, or we want to jump into the bracket?
I had a spiritual one.
Yeah, let's see it.
Even though you that was my response to that's more spiritual than the book. This is going to counterpoint to one of the books I had last week. I had Absolute Wonder Woman 16 last week. This is Absolute Batman 16. And the cover has Batman looking Wonder Woman in the face with the question "Go to hell?" question mark.
Mm.
Um, and if you're familiar, you weren't reading Absolute Batman? No, that's
I
right.
got absolutely Batman up until Bane. Bane
Okay,
was the last issue that I got there.
that's
Yeah.
right. We talked about it last time. So, Bane mutilated all of his friends, and Killer Croc is left, um, as an almost Godzilla like lizard right now. Um, and he's lost all of his humanity. Waylon. And so, since Wonder Woman gave Batman a little thing where he can summon her, and it's got limited times, he summons her because he's trying to find a way through Wonder Woman's world of magic to turn Waylon back to human.
Mm.
And so her proposal is, all right, we're going to go to hell. And we're going to defeat these things, and we're going to get the power to turn your friend back to human. Um,
Mm.
and several reasons why this was just, it's fun little thing. But, this is Batman, especially Absolute Batman, is dealing with stuff he has no understanding of. And he's just like, I'm just going to trust you because I'm absolutely lost. And he's trying to science
I get
his.
it. Absolutely lost. Nice. Okay, continue.
Hey, I didn't do that on purpose, but it worked. Um,
Uh,
but it's like it's him trying to science his way through all of her magic and it not working, and her
mm.
basically having to kick the door in for him to a point where at one point he literally gets to have a reunion with his father in the afterlife.
Mm.
Which in the absolute universe, his mom is alive, his dad died saving his classmates.
Right.
Um,
At the zoo from the
at the
fire.
zoo. Um, but then it basically boils down to Batman having to have a fight with a centaur in hell to do this whole thing.
Awesome.
But he's going through all of this just to be able to bring some redemption to Waylon. Um, and like also this kind of mirrors one of my all-time favorite Doctor Who episodes. There's an episode called Dark Water where Clara's boyfriend slash fiance dies, and she tries to manipulate the doctor into bringing him back to life.
Mm.
And so, like, she thinks she's destroyed all the keys to the TARDIS because he won't help her, and she betrays him. And there's just this one line, uh, like where, or she's like, "What do you want it to do?" And he's just says, and editors and podcast listeners, and I'm not cursing. It's okay. Matt, don't freak out. Um, but he says, we'll go to, or he says, go to hell. And she's like, fair enough. I deserve that. He's like, no, we'll go to hell. We'll get your Danny back. We'll do all these things. And he's like, and it has very much the vibe of this cover.
Mm.
And, it, she's like, why would you, I just betrayed you. Why would you help me? And the doctor has this quote. He says, You betrayed me. You betrayed everything I ever stood for. You betrayed everything I believed in. You betrayed our friendship. You let me down." And she says, "Then why would you help me?" And he says one of the greatest lines of all fiction, period. He says, "Do you think I care for you so little that betraying me would make a difference?"
Mm,
And like that's mwah, chef's kiss, perfect Doctor
yes.
Who. But it altogether, to tie it back up to the spiritual bow, um, Romans 9 verse 3 is what I actually preached on Sunday. I was preaching on Romans 9. But Romans 9 verse 3, Paul has this statement where he says, "Oh, that I could if I were able to suffer and be separated from Christ, that my family would be able to like join him." He basically says Paul has the same sentiment as we're going through all the rest of this, where he says, "I would rather go to hell if it allowed
Right.
my people." He said, "For I could wish that I myself were cursed and cut off from Christ for the sake of my people, these of my own race." And Paul's saying, listen, I would rather go be separated from God to make sure that they're not. And just this
Mm,
idea of people caring enough to go through these things in the aspect of redemption, knowing we don't have to because Jesus, hey, but like there's that concept of people doing that, which I just think is neat.
that's
So
cool. Funny enough, they also go to hell in this one. So
yeah, that's what I was gonna
Hades.
say. We
Yeah.
were on the same thing.
Well, very cool. So Hector and I were talking, trying to think about some things to bring into a discussion, little pieces to add to the show. And one of the things that I've enjoyed doing on my show is brackets. Like I've done my favorite books, favorite movies, favorite superheroes, all those kind of things. And I said, well, let's do the same thing. It's gonna be Valentine's Day ish, right around there. What if we got some iconic comic book couples, did a little bracket, see who comes out top as the number one couple. And so Hector and I have talked about kind of what the structure is going to be, what we're going to do, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rounds total. And so listen, there's 32 of them. So for the first, we'll do the first 2 rounds are just going to be gut, no discussion, just gut, like whatever. And if we disagree, I've got a D20 and we're going to let fates decide. If we disagree on what it's supposed to be, oh, there they are. We'll do odds and evens. They're kind of above and below each other. So odds will be on top, evens will be on the bottom. So that's what we're gonna do.
I was
So
about to ask if there was like a redemption process there if I totally disagree with you.
listen, what I would like to do. So in the future, we were talking about a couple of these. I would love to be able to bring someone else on to be that third person. And if I knew of a girl, it would be good to have probably a girl's perspective on these iconic couples. But we're just two bearded, heavy-set men deciding the fate of the world on these things. So, it could be worse. It could be worse. We're both married, happily married with children. So at least we have some idea and semblance of romance. How many years you been married, bud?
Hello. 22.
Nice. Carrie and I are 19 in May. So,
Well, I'm
Sam,
also older than you, so
well, I was not going to say that. I was just
you
saying
already
that we're
called me an old man
close.
earlier. So
Listen, your kid's turning 18, mine's turning 15. We're really pretty close there. It's not like we got Todd Turner on here, my goodness. He was around when they invented the wheel. I'm kidding. All right, so first 2 rounds, we're going to start at the top there. And we're going to go through. If you do not see the couple that you think should have been on here, please put it in the comments. Send Matt a postcard and say you need to go back and fix it. Whatever.
it has to be a postcard with an
Has
actual
to be a
stamp, though.
postcard, yes, with a hand-drawn picture of the couple. That's what it's got to be. But no, seriously, leave a comment. Why wasn't this one here?
If
It
you
should have
send
been
a
here.
postcard with a hand-drawn picture of a couple, we'll send you a comic book.
Listen,
I will.
dang
I
Skippy,
will.
dang
I've
Skippy.
got comics of galore, and I can probably send you one of the couple you mentioned. Go ahead.
Love it, love it. All right, so first question or first round, first matchup is the Question and Huntress versus Star Lord and Gamora. Star Lord and Gamora, Question and Huntress. I know my thoughts. I want to hear yours first. Which one are you picking?
Star-Lord and Gamora.
Boom. The same thing. I gotta hit start the tournament so I can. All right. Let's see. Star Lord and Gamora. There we go. Oh, are you gonna make me seriously do this? Hang on.
All right, here we go.
Hide this. All right, so now we got a new first matchup. Because it's all randomized. So now we
All right.
have Mr. Miracle and Big Barda or
Oh, shut
Superman
up.
and Lois Lane.
That's not fair.
I'm just saying, I just randomized it. You saw me do it.
Do it again.
Do it again.
Do
All
it
right.
again.
All right. Okay.
Don't start me off on that. That's heartbreaking. I feel like I'm betrayed. Can you do it without jacking your Kool-Aid up?
So I think I just have to end the tournament.
No, don't.
No, it's okay. It's all right.
No,
I mean,
don't do it. We can do it. We can.
no,
I'll go
we
with it. I'll
can't.
bite the bullet.
Reset the bracket, confirm resets, and then I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right.
Good, fine. That's great.
That's a good one. Okay.
Yeah, I'm
all
good.
right.
I just like that's actually close to like final four for me, man. I don't know.
So it's all random. I have no idea who they're paired up with. That's what the fun of these are because I ended with I had no idea that was my favorite movie, but I guess it is because the bracket is spoken. All right, so here we go. Ant-Man and Wasp, Superman and Lois Lane. Superman and Lois Lane, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right, just making sure. Okay, so that one's done. Batman and Catwoman, Joker and Harley Quinn.
Batman and Catwoman.
Okay, see, I was thinking Joker and Harley Quinn, but I can flex. I can flex. I'm okay. We'll do Batman and Catwoman.
It's abusive and toxic and gross.
Doesn't mean it's not iconic. Like that was the idea. We're not looking at healthy marriages that we're going to go ahead and write a marriage book on. I mean, this is just iconic couples. That's okay. All right, Captain America and Peggy Carter or Question and Huntress.
Captain America and Peggy Carter.
Yep, I agree. Batman and Wonder Woman or Thor and Jane Foster.
I'm gonna go with Thor and Jane Foster just because I've never seen Batman and Wonder Woman as much as I'd like to say that last long. Like it's always like brief.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But they're always cute though. They're cute.
They're cute. I love it together. And
but I've not seen the emotional push behind a Batman and Wonder Woman like I've seen Thor and Jane Foster.
It's always kind of forgive the phrase. It's kind of like borderline tension, not like yeah.
All right, Mr. Miracle, Big Barda, Beast Boy and Raven.
Mr. Miracle and Big Barda.
I agree. Jon Stewart and Shira or April O'Neil and Casey Jones.
Oh, that's not fair. April and Casey Jones.
I like it too. I like that too. All right. York Brown and Beth, Hellboy and Liz Sherman.
York Brown.
So that's Why the Last Man.
Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah, Why the Last Man. So I won't give any more description on there. If it didn't click, then that's
I'm on that one. Hellboy and Liz.
Okay. I actually think it'd be York Brown and Beth, but I've got my reasons. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll the dice. Odds, it's York Brown and Beth. Evens, it's Hellboy and Liz Sherman. It's 18. Hellboy and Liz Sherman. There we go. All right. Cyclops and Jean Grey or Ben Grimm and Alicia Masters.
Ben Grimm and Alicia Masters.
Yes.
Cyclops. Cyclops is he gets around, man. He bounces back way too easy.
It's the cool shades, man. It's
it is.
Shades.
Yeah.
Ralph and Sue Dibney or Star Lord and Gamora. I'm going Ralph and Sue Dibney. Yeah. That's
listen, the shot of him holding her body and
all wrapped up in a pool and and puddled and all that stuff. Yeah,
with the fire alarm going on or the sprinklers and stuff. That image haunts me. I can't know. Yeah.
Nightwing and Batgirl, Daredevil and Elektra.
Nightwing and Batgirl.
See, I'm going Daredevil and Elektra. So all right, here we go. Odds, Nightwing and Batgirl. Evens, Daredevil and Elektra. Odds, you always win. Always win. Pick a different dice. Reed Richards and Sue Storm, Peter Parker and Mary Jane Watson.
Peter and Mary Jane.
I'll go with that one. Todd's gonna hate us for that, but that's okay.
Witch. She's thinking about Namor. I don't want to hear
it. Scarlet Witch and Vision, T'Challa and Storm.
Scarlet Witch and Vision.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go with that one. I do really like T'Challa and Storm, especially in the zombies, in the original Zombies run. But I'll go with Scarlet Witch and Vision. Flash and Iris West, Spider-Man and Gwen Stacy.
Flash and Iris West.
Man, Spider-Man is not getting a whole lot of love.
Have you seen his romantic life?
Listen, yes. Green Arrow and Black Canary, Hawkman and Hawkgirl. I'm picking Green Arrow and Black Canary. That's
yeah, absolutely. Listen, he calls her Pretty Bird. I ain't heard no warm smooshy talk from Hawkman.
Wolverine and pronounce that one for me, bud.
Medical?
I like it. And Victor and Nora Freeze.
I'm gonna go with the freezes.
Yes, yes, thank you. I didn't want to fight you on
I
that
mean,
one.
like Victor alone is one-sided enough to win some fights. My precious Nora.
Mark Grayson and Eve Wilkins from Invincible
Invincible.
and Gambit and Rogue.
Gambit and Rogue.
Yes, I was like, all right, here we go. All right, round two again. We're gonna start at the bottom. No thought, just whatever. Victor Freeze, Gambit and Rogue. I think
Gambit and
Victor
Rogue.
Freeze. You think
Gambit and
Gambit and
Rogue.
Rogue? All right,
They actually have an active relationship right now where they can finally touch.
this is true. This is true. We're
And
not
they're running
arguing
a
though.
whole X-Men team together.
Fine, I'll do it. Gambit, I do love Gambit. Shit, fist bump, boop, Gambit on my shoulder. All right, Angel, Demon, Gambit, whatever. All right, Green Arrow, Black Canary, Flash, and Iris West.
Green Arrow and Black Canary.
Yes. Peter Parker, Mary Jane Watson, Scarlet Witch, and Vision.
Scarlet Witch and Vision.
Yes, yes. I'll tell you a story later about Kirsten Dunst's Mary Jane later. Ralph and Sue Dibney, Nightwing and Batgirl. Ralph and Sue Dibney.
Nightwing and Batgirl.
All right. Odds, it's me. Evens, it's you. And that's a nat one. The only time I've ever wanted a nat one, and that was it right there. All right. I win.
Fair. I'll take it.
Hellboy and Liz Sherman, Ben Grimm, Alicia Masters. Ben Grimm and
Banker and Alicia Masters. Yeah.
All right. Mr. Miracle and Big Barda, April O'Neil and Casey Jones. Mr. Miracle and Big
Big
Barda.
Barda. Yeah.
All right. Thor and Jane Foster, Captain America, and Peggy Carter.
Captain America and Peggy Carter.
Yes. I could turn back time. Superman, Lois Lane,
Shut
Batman,
up!
the No.
Superman and Lois.
Yeah. Listen, the bracket has spoken. All right, so now we can have a little bit of discussion.
Lois has not left Superman at the altar in my lifetime.
There we go. All right. A little bit of discussion here. We can make a case if we need to. Superman, Lois Lane, Captain America, and Peggy Carter.
Superman and Lois Lane.
I think so too. Yeah. I mean,
they're just the best couple. Like, and Captain America and Peggy always end up in tragedy or separated, and Superman and Lois have like endured literally everything.
Yes. Well, at times.
At times.
Did you ever read the New 52 Justice League 3099 or whatever it was? It was a really short run.
No, like the future one?
Yeah, it was future one, and Lois Lane, a future clone of Lois Lane, is the villain. It was super weird. I couldn't figure out what had happened, but yeah. All right. Mr. Miracle, a Big Barda, Ben Grimm, and Alicia Masters.
My heart.
Do you have it is. Do you have any? I mean, I'm leaning towards Mr. Miracle and Big Barda, but I mean, but they're both tragic. They're both tragic,
but like here's the thing for me. I only care this much about Mr. Miracle and Big Barda because of Tom King's Mr. Miracle run.
Right.
Take that one book out, and it's been an Alicia by a landslide. Tom just made such a great, compelling case for their relationship in Mr. Miracle. But I mean, like, there's nobody that loves as purely as Alicia.
That's true. That's true. It's got my vote.
Oh, it hurts my soul. Okay.
Listen, do you see what the next matchup is right here? You see what this one is?
Yeah, and I know where it's going too.
All right. Ralph and Sue Dibney, Scarlet Witch and Vision. Honestly, two sides of the same coin. Again, both marked with tragedy.
I am just going on pure love, Ralph and Sue Dibney.
Yeah.
I like Scarlet Witch and Vision better, but I don't think Scarlet Witch pulled the emotional weight that Sue Dibney did.
No, I'm with you.
She carried more vengeance over what she lost. But I don't know, man. Just reading the romance of Ralph and Sue in Identity Crisis,
Yeah.
Um,
Is there more of a buildup in the comics than there was in the MCU of that relationship? Because it feels like it's just overnight it happens in the MCU. Like there's not
what,
a
Scarlet and Vision?
yes.
There is some stuff in the earlier Avengers, but then she also kills him.
Yeah.
So, but I think by default, it needs to be Ralph and Sue.
I think so too. I think I'm with you on that one. I'm with you. At no
There
point did
is
Ralph
more
decide.
build, but like there's not build that would change my discussion.
No. Okay. All right. Gambit and Rogue, Green Arrow, and Black Canary.
Gambit and Rogue.
Yeah, I think so. I'm a big fan of Oliver Queen, um, but I'm also a big fan of.
Every time Green Arrow and Black Canary get married, Green Arrow dies in
I
comics.
mean,
Multiple times. That's happened. They'll
yeah.
have a wedding and then he dies.
And then he's back from the
Yep.
Lazarus pit.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay.
I
Two
quit.
rounds left.
Good game, guys. All right, tune in to the next episode of the Full List
No,
podcast.
we're so close. We're so
I don't
close.
wanna.
So close. Okay.
No.
All right. Ralph and Sue Dibney, Gambit and Rogue. Ralph and Sue Dibney, Gambit and Rogue.
Gambit and Rogue.
Okay. Convince me.
It goes back to Gambit has.
Remember him holding her with the sprinklers pulled up.
Yeah. I hear you. I grew up reading the longing and the angst of that man holding a candle for her for his whole lifetime, my whole
Yeah.
lifetime,
Yes.
always wanting to be close, never being able to touch, like that whole thing.
Yes.
Their like emotional longing was better than most people's actual relationships. And now in comics, they can actually touch. They're in a healthy relationship together, and they're actually parenting a whole school of mutants, and they're cute together. And he's like making her breakfast in cute little shirts. And I'm like, I like seeing who they are because all the good stuff for Sue and Ralph that I saw
Yeah.
was flashbacks.
Yeah. Not with you there. I was going to say, Sue's death and the entire Justice League is looking for her killer and all that mess that goes with it. But then I thought if the same thing happened and either Gambit or Rogue died, they're going to have all of the X-Men like do the exact same thing. So I was like, all right, I'll go Gambit Rogue. I like it. I mean, we know what it's going up against next round, so we'll see. We'll see what's up. But all right, Gambit Rogue. Now, Ben Grimm and Alicia Masters, Superman and Lois Lane.
Superman and Lois.
I
hate everything.
CJ's not coming up with another stupid idea for the show ever again. This was terrible. All right, so Superman and Lois Lane, Gambit and Rogue.
We can all be winners.
We so
I've got
let's do it
my
this way.
I've got my answer, so you can exfoliate some there.
So
Expound.
so my thought is this: it's really hard for me to pick one over the other, and so I was wondering if we did the opposite, if we removed one relationship from comics, which one would be more upset about? Does that make sense? You know, the idea that if you try to decide between vanilla and chocolate, and you pick vanilla, if you're more upset that you didn't get chocolate than you really want chocolate, you know what I'm saying? So Superman never finds Lois Lane. That relationship never existed. Okay. Clark Kent, Lois Lane never existed. Versus Gambit and Rogue never existing. Like that relationship. Which one makes you sadder?
Superman and Lois.
I think so too. Even though I love Gambit and Rogue together. Love Gambit and Rogue together. Could I see
Superman? They're not Superman and Lois together.
could I see another relationship for Rogue that would also be satisfying? I think there's several characters that we can look at and go, I can see this adjusting and being enjoyable. Or same thing with Gambit. Could I see some, you know what I mean? Like I could see that Superman, Lois Lane. I mean, Superman was also in a relationship with Wonder Woman for a short period of time. I've got like 3 or 4 of those from New 52. And it's not as satisfying as Lois Lane. It's just not
That's
as it's not as enjoyable.
and New 52 is an experiment anyway.
Well, listen, that's what most comics are, experiments.
They
See
are
what happens if we sell
experiments.
some comics. If not,
It's
all right,
only canon if it's good enough to stick around.
that's it. That's it. All right. So our number one most iconic couple in comics ever. No disputes. You can't argue with us because it's definitely right because the bracket has spoken is Superman and Lois Lane, which I'm okay with that. Like looking at all these, I'm okay with that. If it had been, you know, I'm looking at some of these Daredevil and Elektra, I'd be like, I think we missed something there. Like I like that couple, but I think we missed something. But this one, I'm with. I'm with. I know that you're angry a little bit. Maybe not. I don't know.
I don't like conflict and making choices, and it sucks. But like, here's the thing: there was there's been several moments of Tom King writing Lois and Superman. There's a double date issue where Batman and Catwoman go on a double date with Lois, and like they're adorable. And then honestly, like the moments that they had, like, and I know the Superman movie we just got is new, but even their stuff is better than most relationships we've seen in comic book movies. And like you can take that from comics, you can take that from every iteration. Lois has always been depending on which version you're getting, she's been one of the best. But even I don't know. Like I go back to Batman Hush, that the one thing that could beat mind controlled Superman was throwing Lois off a building. Like Batman's literally punching this dude in the face with kryptonite. It's not doing anything. And so he has Catwoman throw Lois off the roof of the Daily Planet, and then he's snapped out of it. Like, come on.
Yeah. Oh man. So that's it. That's our bracket. Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, Superman and Lois Lane. So I mentioned earlier that my daughter's has a boyfriend, and it's so gross. But when they were looking at Halloween costumes this year, they went as Superman and Lois Lane. So I'll have to let her know that they were dressed as the most iconic couple in comic history. Very cool. Well, I downloaded that bracket. I'm going to get it to Radio Matt. We'll see if he puts it in show notes or on social media somewhere or whatever. It exists, so I'll put it there for him if he would like to put it in there. If not, you can just slow down the show and watch it on YouTube so you can see us zip through at lightning speed.
And watch me have a panic attack when you put Big Barda against Superman and Lois out the gate.
And we fixed it. Yeah,
it still would have ended up the same. I would have just been way sadder sooner.
Well, I mean, Mr. Miracle and Big Barda never went against Superman and Lois Lane in this one.
Yeah,
Ben Grimm knocked him out beforehand. So
yeah,
it would have happened. So very cool. All right, that was our bracket. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Yeah. You want to send us out, man?
Yeah, guys, remember you can check us out on the Glue Network. That's GLU on all Roku devices. You can check us out on the Love Thy Nerd Podcast Network on YouTube, as well as just check out Love Thy Nerd. You'll be able to find links to the podcast and find a lot of other podcasts there to check out as well. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. If you this should have just passed Valentine's Day, or
yes, if you're like, oh geez, it's Valentine's Day, fix it fast. Like you missed it. Fix it quickly.
You missed it. Valentine's Day is on a Saturday, so this is like within 4 business days of Valentine's Day. The chocolate is still at least 50% off, not
That's
75.
That's it. Yes.
This is your last chance to go get discount chocolate for your loved one, whether they be in a comic book or real life. But thanks for touring with us. We'll be back next month with some more polls. We also have some more brackets in mind for next month as well. But thank you guys for joining with us. And remember, kids, read
more comics. Bye.
I'm gonna take all 7 cups.
to this. This is a game of risk.
Greetings, valued polis listeners. No, that's not it. Poll listeners. My gosh.